Look at Talk. New episode starts now. Welcome everybody to another edition of the Look at Talk podcast. Yes, this is a video episode, y'all. We're trying out something new. I'm your man, Victor. Nice of y'all to see my face now, you know what I'm saying? So today I have a guest with me. I have a recording artist with me today, joining us today, having a round with us today. It's none other than Miss MoUnique. How you doing today?
I'm doing great. How are you?
I'm doing well. How's everything going today?
Besides it being very bipolar here in Texas, it's going pretty good.
Wow, you coming out of Texas. I'm in Florida, so I know how you feel because Florida weather is it's all over the place.
Well, see, that's my hometown, Tampa.
Oh, wow. So, well, we're talking now because truly I've been thinking about leaving Tampa for Texas.
It's a nice place. You'll love it here.
It's a nice place. Okay, okay.
Yeah.
So how's everything going? How you been handling the pandemic?
Um, it's been okay, a little stressful because I have two little ones and they're begging to get out the house, but I find little things for them to do inside and then I do my independent films and my music and stuff. So I stay busy. So
I
it
see.
doesn't really affect me as much. I have never caught the COVID-19. I just work smart.
Always. I feel you on that. I ain't never caught the COVID-19 either. So that's why it's like we always have to work smart, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So, so tell the people a little bit about your music.
Well, crazy thing. To be honest, I am not an artist. I am more of a writer. I love writing all kind of things, and I wrote this as a poem. And as writing it as a poem, I was like, well, this sounds just like my life. It sounds too good to give away. Um, so I just decided to keep it for myself. I was like, well, I'm gonna be selfish and keep it for myself. Like, so I said, let me see how this sounds in the studio. This may be something that carry a lot of weight, something that may be exciting for people to hear because it is a true story. It's about domestic violence. That's something that really happened to me. Um, so went in the studio and I was like, you know what? I think this is gonna be a nice song. So I just kept it and ran with it.
Oh wow. So how did you overcome dealing with the domestic violence?
To be honest, it took a lot of time. Like it wasn't something that happened overnight. I was actually living in Tampa, Florida. My brother lives there. Shout out to my brother. And I was telling him, what was going on. And when I first went to him, he didn't tell me to leave. What he told me was, when you're done and you're ready to move on, you're gonna leave. You have somewhere to come. He pretty much said, I can go over there and act crazy and a fool and go to prison, or we can handle this, which would leave you in the best head frame, the best situation to where you can walk out smooth and don't have to look back or have any regrets. So I end up leaving his house and I end up going back to the person. And my brother told me, he was like, okay, don't forget what I said. If you when you're ready to leave, you're really going to be ready to leave, come to my door. Because it's plenty of times I could have left, but I would have probably ran back to him because I wasn't mentally ready to go. Um, and then eventually I went to my brother with all my bags and my son, and I was like, I'm ready to go. So it wasn't a step of, I don't know exactly how I got through. I just had enough, and I knew what my enough point was. My enough point should have been from the beginning, but sadly, it wasn't.
Understood. So why do you feel like many domestic violence victims tend to go back? Because I see that a lot. Like growing up, I usually watch the Maury show, and sometimes that episode will come on with the domestic violence victims, and it's like they're going out crying for help, but sometimes they just go running back to that same person.
To be honest, it can be a lot of things. For me, I really believe I went back because the person was more stable than me. They were more financial stable than me, and I had a child. So that person had all the money, he had the house, he had the car. And if I left, I was giving up everything that we built together. Um, but it can be a lot of reasons. It can be, family, it can be friends, it can be because that person really do have a hold on the victim's mind. But I do know for me, it was very financial. Um, the more I wanted to get out, I went to a shelter and I was telling the lady, I really didn't want to go to a shelter because I would have had to leave all this luxury, that I was used to. And once I left it, it took everything and God in me to not go back because I literally had nothing. And I would have ran back if I wasn't ready because having what you're used to, your comfortable zone, your familiar, your house, your bed, like having that, even the scent of soap that you love, like like it's different when, not to laugh about the situation, but it's different, when you already know you can go home to that every day versus when you're in a shelter. And I mean, going to a shelter is an amazing idea, but you have to be strong and willing to just not look back.
Understood, understood. So what advice do you give to people that are in those situations that are like the domestic violence situations that always they're crying for help? What advice do you give those people?
Um, it's crazy because someone asked me this question before, and I didn't have an answer at that time, but I would do what's best for you at the moment. If you really are looking for help, there's a lot of places, a lot of shelters that'll help you. And when you're done, technically, statistics wise, people say it takes them seven plus times to leave your like a domestic violence partner, your spouse. So that's 7 times leaving, coming back, leaving, coming back. Um, it takes someone at up to 7 times to leave and come back. What I would say to you is remember why you left in the first place, because that was the biggest thing for me, not knowing why I wanted to leave and choosing myself, anyone else, choosing myself first. Because yes, I was laying next to this man who would beat me and then wake up the next day and I have gifts there, thinking that that's the love that I wanted, you know. But when you start eliminating all the personal and material stuff, that's when you really can be like, okay, I choose me first. So my advice would be choose you first. Like choose you. Don't let no one tell you how to choose you because no one's going to be able to take care of you like you. So if you have to get up 7 times, 10 times until you officially walk out that door, keep walking. And eventually you're going to close it and you're going to lock it.
Hey, thank you. I want to thank you for sharing that because that's very deep, and it's like not many people are willing to share that and be open about their situation. Because I'm sorry if you were living a traumatic situation, but I do appreciate you opening up and telling the people about that. You know what I'm saying?
Absolutely, absolutely. And I do think it should be talked about a little more than just around, because October is domestic violence month. But I do think every month should be awareness. Like, don't be ashamed to tell someone. And sometimes the best help is just listening. Because my brother didn't, he could have went over there and acted a fool. Like, but his ears and his, to hear me just cry out was enough for me to know that when I had a safe place to go, I knew exactly where to go.
Yeah, that's real. I now being a brother myself, I had to learn that too because I had one of my siblings complain to me about somebody they were with. I told them I was ready to go cut the fool, but I had to realize that maybe it's more effective for me to just be there for that person and hang out with that person and get them out the house and do things with them to in order for them to, I'm saying, just, to relax with them instead of me cutting the fool for no reason. Because sometimes you may want to cut the fool, but then the person might not want you to cut the fool because they're trying to work a plan out. So, to all
Yep.
my siblings out there, to all my brothers out there, yes, it's good to protect our Black women, but only when they turn us loose, you know what I'm saying? Because we don't need to be going to jail for no dumb shit, you know what I'm saying?
And not only that, like I think what a lot of people do, like when they see stuff, I think the problem with I want to say us black people, they think, well, she's just gonna go back and run back to him, you know. So I hear that so much. Well, she's just gonna go back to him, you know, or either she's gonna blame me for helping her. You like the tables will turn, you know, she's not gonna want to talk to me anymore. I would definitely say speak up and say something regardless. It's how you say it. You know, don't just go and be like, well, I'm gonna just show up with all my people and just act a fool. No, it's how you say it. Every little bit, every little moment count. You can pull that person to the side and be like, hey, do you need me to step in? Because we can handle this one or two ways. Like, so it's how you do it that really, really is very effective to someone who is going through something, because it doesn't have to be a physical thing. She can be going through something mentally, and he's messing with her mental, or she's messing with his mental. That's abuse too. So it's how you deal with the situation. It's very important.
Yes, it's very important how you deal with the situation, people. So if you get that for anything, you know what I'm saying, be there for somebody when they're necessary and just be there for them, because you know you never know what they need, because it may not always be physical abuse. You may be mental abuse. Trust me, I had to deal with mental abuse growing up, and it's not fun dealing with mental abuse, you know what I'm saying? Because and it's not fun when the person don't want to take accountability, but that's another stuff for another day. Ladies and gentlemen, this is Liquor Talk. Remember, the more liquor you drink, the better this podcast sounds. So tell me, how did you get started in the entertainment industry? What made you want to get started in this field?
Well, see, I go to Full Sail University, and I this is my industry because I'm around it 24/7, 7 days a week going to school. You know, so that's what I thrive in. I thrive in music, writing, films, like so I just started and I just ran with it. Like that's what I do, you know, for school. So I just kind of jumped in head first.
So what made you decide that I just want to jump in head first and just go all in on this?
Because I really think it links to my past. Like for a long time, I only did stuff that people wanted me to do, or acted a certain way that people wanted me to act. Um, Paint this picture that was beneficial to everyone but me. So once I found different avenues that I wanted to do, I just did it. Like I'm not apologetic for it at all. I just did it.
I don't blame you. That's real. That's real. That's how you have to do it. So what are you looking to gain out of being in this industry?
Um, to be honest, I prefer to help people get to different aspects of different avenues of their life. Um, I like helping people. I'm really good at showing people is better out there for them, whether it's music, writing, films. I'm always a genuine person. If I can just be that ear, or to be like, oh, you know what? I know this place that you can go and just get, a logo or something like that. I just want to be able to help our generation and the people underneath us to be able to do something better. So the only thing I'm trying to get out of it is growth, like personally and for other people.
That's real. That's real. It's good that you want to help people, because it's like you get so many people that all they think about is make it to the top, make it to the top, but they're not thinking
Yeah.
like, hey, let me go back and let me get somebody, bring some people up. You know what I'm saying? So it's rare to hear that, and I have to agree with that myself, because although I'm learning about everything, I'm still trying to help people out as well. So I totally feel you on that. So tell me something that about this industry almost nobody agrees with you on.
I'm bossy. So everyone says I am very bossy. And I feel like a lot of people use that word to break down, gotta say it, a lot of people use it to break down Black women. Um, and I feel like I have to be assertive at a certain point in a certain time in my life where I'm doing certain things, because it's very rare that I can sit in front of someone and they're paying full attention to me without me having to keep going over the conversation with them. But if I'm assertive and I'm tough at the beginning, I already have everyone's attention. You're not gonna you're not gonna sneeze unless I tell you to sneeze. So people always tell me, hey, I love that about you, but that's not, you can't always do that. Hey, you can't always do that. It worked for me. Like,
Mhm.
so, I love being the boss in my field. Like, I don't want to never step on anyone's toes. But I feel like being a boss is what keeps me grounded and what keeps me focused and keeps me moving and keeps me thriving and don't have me sad every day. Being my own boss or being bossy, it helps me think about the next goals that I want to go to and setting a limit of BS that I will and will not take. So that's one of the things in this industry that people hate about me or don't agree about me, period. But I love it. So
I mean, I understand because sometimes us men, we gotta get in our boss way as our own because you the captain of this thing. And it's like you gotta be the leader because if you take initiative and you lead people, that's when they're gonna fall in line and do what you need them to do. And if not, they just gonna go off into la la land and then they'll be lost and looking up like what the hell going on. But then some people you just gotta let them flounder if they're not really listening to you. Feel me?
yeah, I think the beauty of that is if you ever come to work with me, whether it's in the studio, whether we're working on films, I don't care what we're working on. When you walk inside that door and you're working with Charlene, MoUnique, I don't care which person you're working with, I have a certain standard. And I'm not going to lower my standard. And I will hope that you want to be next to someone that values standards. You don't want to be just like the everyday you. You want to keep growing. So me, when people say, "Hey, you bossy," I just be like, "Okay, I'm a boss." Like, like that's what I do. Like, I take it and I run with it. So
Yeah, you gotta take it and you run with it. You know what I'm saying? I had one of my old supervisors. He called me a boss. I said, "Damn, really?" I had to take it and run with it myself. I said, "You know what? If he gonna call me that, I'm gonna take it and run with it." You know what I'm saying? But not that you try to be the bossy, but you know what I'm saying. You just want to get things done, and it's like people will fall in line if you're just genuine about it. Now, because some bosses they'll make you want to slap the mess out of them. I ain't gonna lie.
oh yeah. Oh yeah. I've had a couple of bosses that I wish I can go back and be like, if we can rerun this role. Like so
Yes, yes.
Muhammad Ali them be like, boop. So
Yes, that's not fun, but you know, it's like it's life like that. So what are some things that really helped you on your journey?
um I think surrounding myself with positive people have helped me. I used to deal with people that I feel like wasn't really trying to do so much. And once I started wanting to do certain things, it's crazy because even when I started wanting to do certain things, people that was not supposed to be around me, I still was having around me, and I would wake up like and go to sleep like I just wasted a whole day. Like,
Damn, wasted a
but
whole day.
yeah, that's how I felt. Like even recently, even with making my song, like I felt like I just wasted a whole day. Like with something that I can be doing, making a whole nother day of helping somebody or writing another song or writing a script. Like I've yes. So um honestly, it's just I learned how to watch who I allow in my circle because everyone is not welcome in my circle no more. And it sounds like I'm really harsh with that, but it's true because I'm very selective now about who I want in my circle that is trying to do what I'm doing or has already accomplished what what I pursue or want to do. So I'm very choosy about who I want next to me because if I'm a representation of you, you are as, vice versa of me. And I don't want to be dealing with anyone that my name is tarnished. So,
Understood. That's definitely understood because I totally feel you. Because in college, it feels when I was in college, you have an army of friends, you have a lot of friends, but then once you graduate and you start seeing what people are doing, it's just people just fall off naturally. You know what I'm saying? It's like you don't even have to cut them off; they just fall off naturally because they're not really moving or they're not really doing anything. So I totally feel you there because I've had to cut a lot of people off too. I mean, still got love for me, you know what I'm saying? I still holler at them if I see them on social media, if we run town. It's no beef or nothing, but it's just to
Absolutely.
call them, you know.
Of course. You always stay friendly and humble. You never forget, how to be humble.
Yes. So, what do you think your unique skill is that besides being bossy that led you to being successful?
Um, I'm very friendly. Like I can talk to anyone. You don't have to come from my background. You can have a different genre. You can be a different ethnicity. Like I cannot know absolutely nothing about you, but I bet you by the end of the day you're gonna love me. Like so, I'm very friendly. Like I feel like that is my gift. Being friendly, being nice, being humble, being sweet. On top of being bossy. But being sweet and being able to talk and communicate with people is something that I knew I had even before making music, even before going to Full Sail University. Like I've already knew that I was good at they call it the gift of gab. So I talk to anyone. And I think that's what makes me successful. I'm not scared to message you or go into your DM or walk down the street and I'm like, hey, how are you doing? Pick your head up. It's a beautiful day out here. I'm just that person, so that's what makes me successful. That's what makes me me. I can talk to a stranger and have their whole day just a whole different environment.
That's real. So, tell me this: what do you feel like the biggest difference between Charlene and MoUnique is?
Okay. So MoUnique, I made her when I was going through domestic violence. So she is my ego of struggle. Um, she was the person I had to go to and use to hustle. I had to put Charlene in the closet, lock her up, and it was always MoUnique. Like she had an ego. She wasn't friendly at all. Like, but she kept me alive, if that makes sense. Because if it wasn't for her, Charlene would have still been in the situation that she was in. So I had to actually channel this whole different person to pull me out of that situation. And that's the difference. Because Charlene is very book smart, very sweet, very humble, very funny. But MoUnique is MoUnique is the hustle. Like she's the one that you want next to her when you want both of them next to you. But MoUnique is that hustle. Like she's always trying to grind. She's always working. She's always watching for that third eye, like who she can and can't trust. Charlene is just that book smart, that humble, that girl next door, the sweet girl. Like, but MoUnique is like she's that person like
Yeah, that's real. That's real. Sometimes you gotta tap into that. That's real. That's definitely real. So, do you have any other plans to make any other music besides the one song you came out with?
Actually, I don't. At this moment, I am actually managing someone. His name is Els. So I'm not really trying to make more songs. If I can make songs for people and sell them and give them to people, I will do that. But actually making more music myself, I don't really see that like for this year. Maybe next year I'll make more songs. But for this year, I kind of want to tap into helping people seeing what they can be. Because I know what I can be. Like I'm good at what I do. But it's really nice to see people achieve something above what they think they can achieve, if that makes sense.
That's real.
So I think by the end of the year, December, January, I'll be managing him and I'll just help him grow and aspire to be great like I am. So that's what I have planned. And if music end up falling along in line and I have another creative direction, of course I'm gonna use it. Like that'll be something that I'll definitely keep in, my heart. But as far as music wise, nah, I'm gonna just work on the management for now.
Understood. Understood. You know what I'm saying? So, what have you learned about music management that most people probably don't know?
Oh, it's a shady game out here. I love it's funny because people always say, um, you don't see the success, though you don't see the struggle, you always see the success. I think Houston is it's funny because I did music in Florida And I have never felt like I was working with the devil until I moved to Houston. Like
Really?
it is. I swear it's shady because you have to always. I don't know if it's because is everyone wants to do it here, and everyone is a musician, producer, rapper, actor. I don't know, because when I think about Florida, like everybody does music and stuff like that, but not on the same level as Houston. So it's a difference. Like I mean, you have to have really tough skin. I mean, extremely tough. And it's crazy because I saw an interview somewhere that said the reason why, I forgot who it was, but they said the reason why they was as successful as they were making millions was not because they didn't have tough skin or they had tough skin. It's because they already knew what path they wanted to go, and no one could knock them off that path. They was really, really tough and adamant about getting to their goal. Here in Texas, it's like everybody has that goal and really don't mind doing very shady stuff to get there. And Charlene always come in and be like, oh, well, that's not right. So me, I'm always like, you have to be better than that. You can't, Charlene don't like that. Shoot, MoUnique don't like that.
You don't want to fall
So
for the bullshit, basically.
yeah, like it's a lot. And then you have to be, that's why I say you have to be very choosy about who you allow in your circle. Don't allow everyone to want to be next to you, because you're gonna have the devil riding your tailcoat. That you will.
Damn, is that real out there?
Yeah, because everybody's trying to get on. Everybody's like, I mean, don't get it wrong. It is some positive. So don't think that it's not. It's a lot of positive out here. Like if you meet people who are genuinely trying to help you, you can find them here. However, I think what the problem was for me was I was getting referrals to people who have worked with someone, but they was good on terms with working with that person because of that person, not because of me. Do you get what I'm saying? We were two different people working, two different people, two different attitudes, working with an individual, and we just didn't vibe like that. So that taught me quick to be careful. Don't get no referrals, find out your own stuff, and just move silently and don't trust everybody in your circle. So
Wow, that's shady. So, what's your knowledge on 360 deals, and why do you feel like artists be falling for those traps?
what's funny? I don't think it's the 360 deal that is the problem. I think it's the problem of everybody don't read their contract fully. Like, let's just be honest about that. Like, if you a 360 deal is not the worst deal in the world. However, you have to be smart about all the other stuff, like your shows and what is the 360 deal consist of? Is it me making albums? Is it me making features? Like, it's a lot that comes into these contracts that I think people be like, oh my God, I made it. And then when they don't make enough money or they're not hitting their markets, it's like, wait a minute, you are here hitting your markets and you are making the money that I told you will make, but you forgot the extra stuff. You forgot, hey, where does my show money come into play? Where does, like, you forgot the stuff that you supposed to ask and know, but you never asked when you signed in that contract. So I don't think the 60/30 is bad. I just think it's bad people that sign them contracts, and naive people sign them contracts and don't pay attention.
Mm. And why do you think some of the artists are so quick to sign away their rights to their masters? Because I know it's like many artists, the OG artists that own their masters back in the day, but today not a lot of artists own their masters.
So it's funny because someone told me I would literally give everything up for free just to get where I need to be. And I think that's why a lot of people fall and why there's a lot of music out there that doesn't really make it. Because no, first of all, no one should own your masters but you. Let's just be realistic about it. If you're working with someone and they don't want to give you your masters, you need to keep looking, because ownership is key. If you can't own your own stuff, you need to keep looking. because nothing is worse than you working hard and going to these shows and you're not profiting off of it. Someone else is doing that. So ownership is key. So if someone owns your masters, you need to keep looking. You should never work with them in the first place, because you should not want to sell off everything and don't own nothing just to get ahead. You should respect the fact that I'm a young person coming in this industry and I know my business, and you're not going to look over me and you're not going to F over me.
Mm. So
They're just so eager. They're eager to get in without thinking.
So what do you think when you hear about artists that have signed these bad deals and now they're on social media telling their stories about how the record label has screwed them over?
Their problem. They should have read their problem. Because okay, so I think it was Megan Thee Stallion. She said allegedly her mom, makes music and stuff like that. And in my head, when she went out and was like her record company screwed her over, the first thing came to my mind was, wait a minute, did you not say your mom did music too? So you're telling me your mom was okay with allowing you to screw up money like that? So I don't, honestly, it's hard to say. I don't feel sorry for them, but at the same time, slow down, walk. If you gonna get it, you're gonna get it. If it's meant for you, it's meant for you. But don't rush into a situation without reading, because you could have just sold your whole life over. Everything you worked so hard for. You be like TLC them when they bankrupt and all that. Like, you remember back in the day where all them artists made all that money and they didn't have a dime to their name.
Yeah.
So by all means, keep rushing into them contracts and then coming on the internet crying. That's a personal problem. I mean, you got to be smarter than that. Everything is not good money.
Yes, that's real. And I feel like from what I've been seeing, I feel like it'd be better if artists just stay independent, because I've seen artists make millions of dollars just being independent.
I don't know who it was. It was somebody that said, dang, I wish I knew who it was. But somebody recently said, they don't even care about making songs. What they can do, they can go on the road and just hit concerts and shows and stuff independently and make a lot of money. Like, you don't have to, you independent way right now. A lot of people have came up on social media. But I think what the problem is with people who rush into contracts, when you hear big company names want you, you get that tingling feeling like, oh my God, I just made it. Jay-Z called me. Like so you eager. No shade to Jay-Z. I love Jay-Z. No shade to him, but you eager. The realistic part of you probably done flew out the window because all you heard was Jay-Z called you.
Yeah. Jay-Z, or big name executive, that's been known, that's in the industry, or Sony or Universal.
Yeah, sold your soul to the devil, not even paying attention to the contracts. So, I mean, I think that's why it's good to have people looking over your shoulder. Good people, repeat, good people looking over your shoulder, because there are greedy people out there too. So
yes, there has to be. I feel like everybody, them record label companies, them are some greedy people, because I've seen artists realize they done made a mistake and done made the money and asking, hey, can I just buy it back? And these artists, these record labels are like, no. I'm like, damn, record labels just turn down money like that.
But think about it like this: everybody in the business to make money. So it was your job from day one to know all your facts before you even sat at their table. So if you have a problem with that record label down the line, you should have known how to get out your contract before you even signed that contract. You should have known, hey, if so-and-so failed. I think that's why Motown was so successful. You know how back in the day they used to do like that viewing to where if you like it, a cheeseburger, or you'll buy the album. Like, they used to be so successful because they did different stuff. To do different stuff, if you want different outcome, you have to do different things. Like, you can't just think that I'm gonna go and I'm gonna sign this $1 million contract and then I'm gonna just walk away with $1 million. Absolutely not. If you want different outcome, you have to do different things. Different tricks work for different people, but you are obligated to know your facts. They do their facts. They have $1 million people behind them, lawyers.
Mm-hmm. They got lawyers. They got everything. So I would definitely think you need to lawyer up your damn self. You know what I'm saying? Call
Absolutely.
lawyer up yourself or call somebody that's good with contracts that can help you help you negotiate and read through these contracts. You know what
Tyrone and see how he got out of his trouble.
I'm saying? You got to. It's like it's crazy. And what I didn't realize was it was so many artists who fell victim for this. It's crazy.
I like honestly, independent is kind of the way to go. You just have to have somebody that's willing to go. You don't never have that. Well, you could have enough time to go out and handle business by yourself, realistically. But to have someone else fighting on your behalf is good too. You just got to be smart. Don't just be signing anything. That's the biggest thing about it. Like, don't just keep signing stuff because it sounds good.
Yes, please don't, because you're gonna be in a whole lot world trouble if you just signing things and it's just, and nobody's really looking out for you, you know.
Because
Ladies,
I would share you on the timeline and be laughing at you like, look at this fool.
yes, yes, you'll be signing, you'll be celebrating your big contract, but then people in the industry or people that know you, they be like, look at this dumb fool, you know what I'm saying? And
Right.
that's why I saw when I saw a video of the worst contracts and they was breaking down details, I was like, how the hell did they fall victim to that?
Because what they heard was 30, what they heard was 60/30. They did not read their full contract. They saw all them dollars, but they didn't break down what them dollars go to. I think that's why I really, really do believe like people. I remember when Left Eye used to break down. Remember Left Eye broke down their contract and why they was broke and stuff like that. If people did that more often, we wouldn't have these problems. Break down that contract. Okay, if you don't understand something, have your people come right beside you. Hey, what this line right here say? Don't sign nothing, highlight it, underline it, and go back and make sure you understand what it says before you sign your name on that form.
That's real. So, do you think there's such a thing where record label people might have artists killed off because they know too much and stuff?
Well, see, if you want me to be honest, back in the day, I really do think they did that. Like when Suge Knight and all them was like on top, I really do think they did that because back in the day, all the money was like dope boy money, so getting deals done and stuff like that, they had to do some very dramatic type things. I think that today, that's iffy. Like
Because
that's
it's like I heard things about Prince and Michael Jackson. I heard Mike owned a lot of his a lot of shit. I heard Mike even owned the Beatles stuff. I said, damn.
You know what's crazy? I think, honestly, and I have to say it, I do think that once a black man, I don't care what color Michael Jackson's skin is, he was black when he was born. I do think as a black man, once you get a certain level of power, they always knock you down. Like, I do think that. But as far as killing them off, I can't speak on that. I don't know because I feel like Prince was dang near going crazy anyways because his last song, Kisses and Hugs and Flowers or whatever the heck that was, I was like, did he really just make this shit? Like so he could have just been going crazy. Like it could just be the toll of Hollywood. Like I feel like anybody who be in Hollywood just eventually snap. So
Yeah. So the music industry just does that to you. It just makes you just snap like that.
I mean, you have to have a strong mind. No one makes you do anything, but I think a lot of people get into them drugs and stuff like that, and then they lose themselves. So no one makes you do anything, but I do think there are people who, once they get under the influence of certain people or drugs, they're no longer their self. So
Mhm. Now, what you think of the state of music today? Like with all these internet rappers and stuff, all these artists coming out. What do you think of it today?
it's the worst thing I ever heard in my life.
Really?
I, I really do think music has died. Like, and it's crazy because I love music. Like, when I say I love music, I really love music. Like, I love the beat making process. I love the time it takes for you to stand behind a mic. I understand the struggle, of getting your music out there. However, I do think there's a lot of music out here that is it's not worth anything. Like even the name brand, like the people today, like I love Carly B. Let me just be honest. I love her. I like her music. I think she's cute. She got a cute body, but her music is trash to me. Now she can sell records. She definitely can do that, but I don't think music is good no more. It doesn't. Even back then, like everybody told a story. Like, no matter how much you heard their music back in the day, they told a story. They told their life. They told their truth. I just think nowadays everything is about money. Well, it was always about money and drugs, but now it's like the girl with the big butt and how she can get her and how she can get him. And like, I just think somewhere we lost it somewhere. Like, I wish we could just go back like a couple of months or years or something, and we could figure out what we fell off at, because I don't really know an artist out there that I really like at the moment. Like, genuinely. Like, I have no. Yeah, nah.
Well, let's take it back a little bit. Who's some of your musical influences coming up?
Oh, I love Jay-Z. I love Queen Latifah. I love the old Lil Kim. The old Lil Kim before she started messing with her face and stuff.
Understood.
So
Understood.
I love the old Lil Kim. Like, to be honest, I even like, okay, this gonna sound crazy. I even like Remy Ma, but I have to throw a little shade in there because I really do think Papoose write her music. So I love them together,
I mean,
because she give
I
me
wouldn't be surprised.
that Bronx Brooklyn style, that feel like back in the day music, but I love them together because I like how they feed off each other energy. Let's see, and it's funny because I always like Tupac and Biggie. Like, you're not gonna make me choose. I like them both. So I love Fat Joe. Like, I love music. Like, I think that's the difference. Like, when you think of the 90s, the 80s, the early 2000s, their music, even Aaliyah, like, she wasn't the best vocalist, but she always put on a show. Like, when you watched her videos and stuff like that, you always was intrigued. And I think I'm lying. I like Chris Brown. I like Chris Brown because I think he's the only performer out here that, well, him and I think Bruno Mars is cool, but he's the only performer that performed. Like, he put on a show. Like, you're not gonna get just him sitting by a chair talking. He puts on a show. Like, even his music videos. So if you ever see me next to Chris Brown, I'm just saying.
That's understood. That's definitely understood. You know what I'm saying? So, what's the plans going forward with your music, with managing people?
I am honestly doing artist development. I'm gonna start there. I want to make sure that before we even hit the road running with singles and stuff like that, we have a good foundation. As far as understanding stuff, because it's plenty of times that I can't always be there to baby you. I need you to understand contracts. I need you to understand your look, your sound. I need you to understand your lighting, your performance. It's a lot that goes into stuff where I think artists don't do anymore. That's why Beyonce, because she still do everything, back in the day used to do. They took their craft very seriously. So me moving forward with management, I do artist development first. I don't even put no one out until I know that you are mentally okay and strong enough to go without me. Because once we drop our first single, you're going to be touring everywhere. I'm not going to be with you every day, but you have to know how to handle yourself, like Charlene taught you how to handle yourself. So that's my step. So we have photo shoots coming, we have videos coming. I do a little helping out, with certain people. They ask me things about podcasting and things like that. So I help with a couple of friends on that behind the scene. I'm not really good at helping with podcasting in front of the scene unless I'm being interviewed. Uh, so I'm like a silent partner. But ongoing, I really want to help people get back to that real music. Like, you're gonna sell out because you know how to finesse your audience. Like if you don't know your audience, you are already lost. You're gonna always be out here struggling to make a dollar. So that's what I'm planning on doing ongoing.
That's real. Ladies and gentlemen, this is Liquor Talk. If you don't know, now you know. The more liquor you drink, the better this podcast sounds. I hope y'all are enjoying this conversation I'm having with Miss Charlene, aka MoUnique. Now, what is one thing about this industry you would, if you could change, that you would just change in a heartbeat?
Oh, oh, you know what I don't like? I had to think about it for a second. I hate when they say everyone is a legend. I hate that. It gets underneath my skin. I
Yeah, the artists
hate
that
that.
just passed away, now they're a legend. I'm like, yeah, that one is kind of annoying. I'm like, not to knock dead, but this artist just, how is he a legend when he just was in the game?
Like, and not only that, when I think of legends, okay, it's not even how old you are, it's the influence that you influence someone with your music and how long you have done it. So when I think of legends, hey, to be honest, I was having this conversation with a friend. I think if Chris Brown didn't have his situation with Rihanna, he would be a legend right now because he's the only person who can do certain things and have hit after hit. Drake too, he has the being of becoming a legend. Like because they make hits after hits after hits, you know, and they switch up. Like 1 minute it'll be like real rough type stuff, then it's I'm gonna be down and humble and about my people, and then they'll switch back up. So legend, I hate when they use that word. Like, stop using that word, people. Please stop. Everybody is not 6ix9ine is not a legend. Like Carly B is not a legend now. Like she has the potential to be one of those things, but they are not legend people. Know what a legend is. Aretha Franklin was a legend, Michael Jackson, Prince,
Yes.
like those are legends, people who put in the work every day of the year. Like it takes time to be a legend. Stop saying, oh, well, you know what? Rest in peace. He just died. He was a good legend. He was a good man, a good artist. He was not a legend. Like
Yes, know the difference between an artist and a legend, you know what I'm saying? So any other Florida artists that influence your music as well?
mm, that's a hard one. You know what's funny?
Yeah.
It's gonna be fun. Like I even though I know they're not making music right now, I'm a really big fan of Trick and Trina.
Yeah.
I they when they were making music, and if they can actually get back on the same page and not want to kill each other, um, making music together with them like was always something you was waiting to see, you know. So I think beside like any up and coming artists, no, not really. No shade whatsoever. No shade. But like if we're looking for like people to come back, like I really would root for Trick and Trina. Like I really love their music. I love their duo. I love how he influenced her and made her, and then she did the same for him. Like they feed off each other chemistry. We don't have music like that these days. So
Do you think
I'm
Trick and
sorry
Trick
for
paved the way for a lot of Florida artists that are now coming up nowadays?
I do. And you know what I think the thing is, I think when once people get to a certain standard, they forget to thank people. Because you wouldn't be here without Trina LaKim, and then the next generation wouldn't be here without Nicki Minaj, and the next generation after Carly B wouldn't be here without Carly B. Like you have to remember always to be like, okay, you know what? It was a point in time women couldn't really be in the front like that. They always wanted to hear man stuff. Like we'll come in and do a feature every now and then. Even Ashanti. Ashanti, you give credit to where credit is due. Ashanti was out there, grinding and hustling. At first, she was always in the back. So you have to give credit where credit is due. And I think that's where men don't usually fight over stuff like this, but we as women, we fight over it all the time. Oh, we're the boss. We the boss. We the queen. Why y'all both can't be queens? Why y'all both can't get money? So
That's real. That's definitely real. Ladies and gentlemen, this is Liquor Talk. If you don't know, now you know what I'm saying. So, coronavirus. How have you dealt with the damn coronavirus being an artist and stuff? How has that just influence? Has it messed everything up, or how's it
So,
do that?
well, see, I haven't been able to perform because of the coronavirus. However, little stuff like this, the liquor talk, shout out to you, podcasting stuff like this really do help. Considering the fact that I can't go out into a big crowd or go mingle how I want to mingle. Um, Podcasting has really been like the best way of networking at the moment, social media, so it hasn't really stopped nothing. It's just made me redirect my moves.
I feel you. I feel you. So, did you hear in the news how I hate to go politics for a minute, but I this was lingering. Did you hear how Miss They President he and his wife got the virus after months of saying, "Oh, it's not that serious." Did you hear how he
So
got?
you know what's funny about that? Not funny like hee hee ha ha. This is what's crazy. Um, I do think it's a brush over. I think it's a way to keep people off of um, the topic that he didn't want to, disclaim white supremacists. So I think that is a reason for them to hurry up and put something in the front. Oh, well, the president is sick. Oh, yeah, because the Simpson had an episode where he died. So
Yeah, I
everything the
saw that.
Simpsons, it's a cover up. It's a cover up. So I say this, okay, if he's sick or not, I want to say get better. The person in me want to say get better. So let's just put it like that. The person in me will like to say get better. However, the woman and the Black woman in me wants you to say be smart, don't be stupid, pay attention. This is a cover up. Make sure you vote, make sure you're registered, because right now we are losing our Black people like we're losing water, electricity,
yes,
clothes, like we're very disposable.
we are losing
So,
Black people in all ways. So yes, I definitely agree there. And
yeah.
also, we gotta take
So,
importance of our vote, because there are some places they are shutting down polling places. So we need to be out here hitting them up. Don't let that hinder us.
so I think the problem with us Black people is I think it's funny to me how I have to just say it. It's funny to me how people say our votes don't count. It really ticked me off a little bit because I think of it in two different ways. Let's talk about, if we want to go backwards, how many people have actually died for you to actually sit your butt in line to vote. If you want to take it there. And then you're like, well, my vote don't count. I don't care if it don't count. You get your butt in that line, because your ancestors, the ancestors before you, have died and fought for you to sit in that line. So we can take it there to a very serious point. Or we can take it to a point like this. Okay, if your vote don't really count, how did we get Obama in the office? A Black man whose life is less than a dog right now. Our life is less than a dog right now. We
That's
got him
so
in
true.
office 2 terms, but your vote don't count. Come on, people, do better.
Come on, people, because you better believe them Proud Boys and all them other people that believe in white supremacy. You better believe they plan to vote and stuff. And also, I hate to sound violent here, but do you think it's important that us Black folks start getting our concealed licenses?
So it's funny because realistically, you should have been got it. You should have been had your concealed license. Let's just be smart about this. My household is always protected because I'm always protected. I never feel like, okay, I'm gonna close my eyes and somebody's gonna walk through my door unexpectedly, because I'm always protected. I feel like this is not something we should have done because someone want to say, well, if Trump get in office, we're going to be ready. No, you're supposed to stay ready, and you always be ready, because if you think about it, even before this, there have been hangings in Atlanta, little Black boys coming missing in Texas. Like, don't wait until someone threatens your life to be like, okay, I'm going to go get my license. No, you have that ready. So if someone do threaten your life, you already ready. Please walk up on Charlene. Walk up on me if you want to. I will Medea you. I'm ready.
She said, "I will Medea you." That's real. I feel you on that. I feel you on that. And I feel like if a lot of us black folks were armed and strapped and ready, we wouldn't be dying in the way we dying, you know.
And not only that, like I hate when I don't like, not hate, I don't like when we can stick together when someone is dying. You want us to be like, oh my God, you know, another Black person is dying. But when it comes to serious stuff to keep us from dying, you want us to be like, well, that don't count. That don't count. No, everything counts when it comes to our life. We're not that far out of slavery. Let's just be realistic about it. We're not. So if you say, well, put that in the back of the burner, it's centuries ago. How much centuries ago? If you want to be realistic, think about what the president said. He said, I wish we can go into the back old days, to the good old days. When did Black people have good old days back in the day?
Never.
So you have to listen to what people say and always be ready. I don't fault them for always being ready. I fault you for not being.
Yes. And also he wants to say good old days, but he don't want to bring up the part where the black dollar was becoming more powerful than the white dollar, and that's why they were bombing our cities and bombing our black communities and gentrifying them because they saw we were getting a little too powerful and they needed something to get the dollar out of the community. So you know what I'm saying?
So if you be honest with that statement alone, we're technically still the powerful thing. We
Yes,
spend more money than the white man. We do more than we are very powerful beyond measure.
yeah.
But when we as a unit start moving as a unit, like a word wouldn't bother you. Like when people be like, "Oh well, you a nigga." Okay, I am. But guess what? Don't get it twisted. This nigga is very highly educated. Like don't get it twisted. Like
Don't get it twisted. I'm an educated nigga. I'm the corporate thug. You know what I'm saying? Don't try it.
don't push my buttons. Yeah.
Please don't. So, lastly, what do you want people to get from your influence, whether it's your music, your writing, or your artists? What do you want the people to get from them?
Um, that's a good question. What do I want people to get from it? Okay, so can I break it down in aspects?
Yeah,
Can I
yeah,
break it down in
go for it.
um in music wise, I want you to understand you can do it. By all means, do what you have to do. Be smart about what you do. Be careful about who you choose in your space, but you can do it. Don't be scared to go out and reach your dreams. Like it's enough money here for everyone. Go reach your dreams. Go for it. There's no limit to your talent. Like, especially us as Black people, we are talented. We can dance, we can sing, we can do it all. So go for it. I don't care if you're not Black, just go for it. As far as films, it's funny because most of my films are different. I promote certain things. Like I don't see a lot of plus size women in the front. My films have plus size women. I want you to be comfortable. Don't think I'm gonna cast you because of your race. Don't think I'm gonna cast you because you're bisexual or you know transgender. I'm gonna cast you because you're talented. So if you are talented, you be talented. Don't let no one tell you you can't do something or change your aspect because of their question about your talent. Just do it. Have fun, enjoy life, make your money. And what was the third one? I know it was the third one.
Oh, what was that third one?
Music, film, and just in everything.
Yeah.
Do it. Just do it. Like I want people to know that they can do it. Just do it. Like there's no limit. If you want to do it, do it. If you're in a domestic violence situation, eventually you're gonna get up and you're gonna go away and you're gonna do it. Just do it. Don't let nobody tell you what you can't do.
Yes, do not let nobody tell you what you can't do. And what do you want people to know before they book you for it to be their manager?
I don't take people on that is not serious. I am very bossy. Period, point blank. I'm bossy. I like to get my work done. I work hard to be bossy. I enjoy being bossy because me being bossy will get you money. Now, I'm not going to be disrespectful. It's a difference. But don't come to me thinking, hey, you know, I need your help and assistance with this project. I need you to take over, but I need you to watch my feelings. that is something I'm not gonna do. If you want me to take over, then allow me to take over. Now, your feelings may get hurt. I'm not gonna lie, because if you want it done right, without your feelings getting hurt, you want somebody soft and just gonna be sweet and tell you what you want. I'm not gonna tell you what you want. If you want that $1 million deal and be crying and calling your mama, talk about I just signed my life over, by all means, do it by yourself. Like, but I'm gonna get you the best deal for you, not me. Because if you can't trust me with one project, you're not gonna trust me with the second one. So just be cautious with what you ask. Don't come to me asking me for help if you really don't want help. Because I work 9 to 5, and then I work 9 to 5 again. Like,
I feel that. I feel that. I want to thank you for coming on. You know what I'm saying? I know it took a while, but it was nice to finally get you on. You know what I'm saying? I'm always appreciative to have guests on. And also, we have to discuss, you have other clients that you want to come on, have them come on as well. So they're welcome to come on too. I'm looking forward to it. I appreciate you. I do thank you again for making time to join me on the Liquor Talk today.
you are so welcome. I just wish I would have had a little liquor.
Trust me. I don't have no liquor here myself. So hey, you know what I'm saying. Now, if we were in person, there would be some liquor. I ain't gonna lie to you.
No, it's cool. I'm just messing with you. I love the name.
I want to thank you all for listening to Liquor Talk today. I hope y'all enjoyed this interview. Charlene, tell the people where they can reach you at.
You can find me on Facebook, Charlene Pless. You can find me on Instagram. Everything social media is Charlene Pless. If you're looking for the artist, I will be under I Am MoUnique. I am MoUnique.
All right, ladies and gentlemen, you heard it. Also, you already know where you can find your boy: Twitter, Instagram, Real V Jones, and Instagram Liquor Talk Podcast. You already know where you can find it. Thank you all for subscribing to tune in to Liquor Talk. Go ahead and rate us on Apple Podcasts, Google Podcasts, iHeartRadio, Spotify, Amazon, YouTube, wherever you get your shows at. And until next time, ladies and gentlemen, remember to keep it moving and pour it up, because problems are always temporary. Until next time, we out this thing.